Hey everybody, it's Clay, and well, it is time to take out Poison Ivy. But before we get to it, I'm going to let you enjoy the cinematic of Batman meeting up with her and finally getting a chance to say hey. Until then, guys, enjoy. I'll see you in a second.
I won't let you destroy it, Batman.
I told you to go to your cell.
I was a fool. I thought the plants were in pain. Now I realize they were evolving, growing stronger. And now we'll grow together.
Hey everybody, it's Clay, the old school gamer, and I hope you enjoyed that cinematic of Batman and Poison Ivy meeting up to go head to head, and Batman hopefully being able to take her out at the end of this battle. And anyway, the way I'm going to start this commentary out is, anytime you're playing campaign games, it seems like AI is all about patterns that go and patterns that happen, and the hardest part about taking these campaign bosses out is figuring out exactly what that pattern is. And Poison Ivy is honestly a very difficult boss to fight. In my opinion, probably the hardest, one of the hardest for sure, if not the hardest that there is to take out in the game. But I've got a few tips, I've got a few tricks for you guys that will hopefully help you guys recognize these patterns that pop up and what to do and how to take them out. The very first thing that we're going to start looking out for, of course, is this right here. Poison Ivy, she tosses down these little balls of fire, whatever they may be. What actually got me hit right there is I got out of my rhythm for the pattern that was coming. But basically what she does is she will toss a ball down, and then the middle of the pod of the flower will open up, and you can quickly toss a batarang up there and hit her. She will do this multiple times throughout the game. What I like to do is I like to start over on the far right or far left. It honestly doesn't matter. For me, it was the far right of this little arena that we've been given to battle in. Stay away from those two. Those are bad news. So what I like to do is I like to start right over here on this area. As soon as I see her getting ready to throw it, I dive out of the way and dive all the way to the end of the screen. As soon as I dive after my first shot, you'll see me throw my batarang up in a quick throw, and then begin to maneuver my way back as she throws a series of these red fire flaming balls, those right there. And I always try to hit those on my way back and then get back over to the far right so I can start this series all over again. Now, the Poison Ivy fight actually takes place in two different sections. The first section we see here, I'm not having to really fight anybody. All I'm having to do is dodge the vines and dodge these big fireballs that Poison Ivy is throwing down at me. Right here I actually take her down through the first part of this section, and once she's down, you just grab your explosive gel and you can run up and put that explosive gel on, and you set it off, and that will actually start the next phase in the battle. Now the difference between the previous battle and the second part of the battle is now all of a sudden she starts introducing evil cops that she's kind of taken over and brainwashed. And so now instead of just dealing with Ivy and the vines and the giant fireballs that she's tossing down, now she's throwing some actual combat that's having to go into the mix here. And I've got a couple. This part can actually be very trying and very difficult and kind of a pain to do, but I've got a couple of tips and a couple of tricks here for you guys that will actually help soften the blow on this battle, on this fight, and maybe help you guys get through it a little bit quicker. And like I mentioned, not this fight, it's going to take you a few times. Don't get discouraged whenever you find out that this is a little bit more difficult than what you initially thought that it would be. There's just a lot of stuff that goes into it, and you really got to first of all figure out that pattern, and then also work around all the obstacles that she throws in the way, and in order to successfully maneuver that pattern. So, all right, right here we're back to the actual fight here. We're back to her throwing the fireballs out on the second phase. As soon as she throws that first fireball, I dive out of the way, toss up a batarang, and continue to dive across the arena until she throws down her multiple fireballs, and then I turn around and get back to my starting area. Now, like I mentioned here, this part of the fight, she actually starts to throw cops into the mix, and we start doing the combat. Now, a couple of the tips that I've got for you guys on this is one thing, those vines right there that got me tangled up, you can actually use those to kind of help keep those cops away from you. If you find yourself getting off balance or getting surrounded, or finding yourself in a position that you're not feeling comfortable, you can actually use those vines that are meant to hurt you and take energy away from you and separate you from the cops that are trying to attack you. This is a nice little trick, like I said, whenever you find yourself just in an awkward spot and not really able to kind of regain your composure, and that will just give you a couple of seconds to kind of take a deep breath and figure out what you are supposed to do and what you need to do in order to take these cops out. And it also it gives damage to the cops as well, so that can be helpful. Now here you see I do a good job on those first two cops, and this is the way I always try to do it, and the way that I find is the best way to use this arena to our advantage is whenever these cops are attacking me, whenever they first are laid down on this arena by poison ivy, my initial reaction and what I try to do is I try to catch these guys at the edge of this arena. If you can catch them at the edge of that arena, well, most of the time you can get those guys, and just instead of having to fight them and knock them out and until they are no longer trying to attack you, you can actually push them off the edge of that arena and really quickly end that battle. And it makes it really nice whenever it comes time to having to get through this thing quickly, because the more you have to dodge, the more you have to jump and dodge those vines, the more the little mistakes that will end up getting you killed, the bigger chances that there is of that happening. So I guess that's really about it for the tips and for the tricks. Like I said, jump out of the way of the fireball, toss that batarang up, get yourself in a rhythm whenever it comes to these patterns that is thrown by poison ivy. Whenever you get to the guards, try your best just to knock them off the side of the arena as quickly as possible in order to keep from having to actually go and defeat these guys and knock them out. A lot of times too, you can use those vines to give yourself a little extra space, and sometimes it will catch some of those guards in the vines and they'll get tangled up. Ladies and gentlemen, as this poison ivy fight comes to an end, I hope you found this video and the tips and tricks that I've put in it helpful for you guys. It'll hopefully make that poison ivy fight a little bit easier. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to check out my channel. I put up all different kinds of gameplays for all different kinds of games. Until the next time I talk to you guys, I'm going to let Batman take poison ivy out and enjoy the cutscene. Later. If you found this video helpful, feel free to check out my YouTube page at www.youtube.com/user/ydaml2p. There you can find a large array of other video games I've covered, as well as more tips and tricks for the villains that you're going to be facing throughout Arkham Asylum. You can also find some of my other game reviews through VidThru at www.youtube.com/user/vidthru. And be sure to follow me on Twitter for upcoming news, events, and videos that will be released at www.twitter.com/ydaml2p. That is ydaml2p. Until next time, guys, thanks.